Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today we're doing day 20. So we're finishing the spread and I have as always prepared the swatching area by stamping out this element from my palette swatcher stamp set. I will also use some elements from my summer florals and botanical stamp sets, and they are all available on alyonacreates.com. We are working on flower arrangements that are inspired by ikebana, which is a Japanese art of presenting flowers. I am going to start with this element here at the bottom. It will be our main flower, so to speak. I'm going to wipe off the bottom part of it. Then I'm going to add a few lines just to add structure to our piece. And then we can build on a few stamp sets on top of that. For that I'm going to use a couple of these leaves. As you'll notice, they have a little pointy tip, and that is to help you to place it. I'm going to grab this small element and place a few smaller stamps around here. Now I'm going to grab this one here, and I'm going to grab the largest one, which can be used as a leaf or a petal, and I'm just going to tilt it. I'm going to go back into this first leaf that we used and stamp it here, and back to the small element, the smallest leaf. I'm going to use this small berries element and add it into a few places. And now I want to finish the end bits here, and I'm going to use this time leaves. I'm also going to go back to the small element from the botanical stamp set and add a little diversity around here and length. I think I want to bring in something up here as well. Again, just bring in some interest, because otherwise it's a little bit kind of repetitive here. So that is it. Now we're going to line things out. Using 01, I'm going to start lining things out and connecting them. You could potentially, if you wanted, add another bit of something here, just to fill in the space. Let's add a little bit of color. So I'm going to start with a nice kind of orangey yellow, and that's going to go into our berries. I'm first going to dab the color on to the berries and then use a smaller brush to blend things out. And now I'm going to mix a thicker mixture of the color and just dab in the more intense tone onto the top of the berries. Now I want to use a turquoise color, and it would work really well with the orangey yellow. Believe it or not, there are some exotic plants that are of this color. I couldn't believe my eyes when I went to the Cambridge Botanical Garden, and this was maybe around May or June. There was this turquoise stunning plant or flowers hanging. It was just amazing. I never thought I would see this color in flowers ever. It does exist. Not this exact shape of the flower I haven't seen, but the color I have. So that's what we're going to do. And then I'm also going to now take my brush and just dab the water into the berries to get a bit of movement and texture, because my cobalt teal separates into beautiful blues and greens. So hopefully you can see here in the dish the beautiful separation. And I designed it specifically to have that unique property to it, which I couldn't find in other existing colors. So you can see it's a beautiful, beautiful teal, bang in the middle of a blue and a green, just the way I like it. I'm also going to create lighter versions of the same color, because I'm not going to use that many colors. And I want to fill in the swatches, so that's something you can do as well. Or you could stamp less colors. Now we're going to go into a green, and I'm going to use a couple of colors here. This very muddy green, I'm going to add my chartreuse, which is again my perfect mix of a chartreuse. And we're going to use this color throughout the leaves. Generally I like the darker color to be towards the base of the leaf. I hope you're enjoying this more chilled spread. As we're coming to the end, I have new ideas for the next spread. I thought after the very kind of detailed and loads of work of the previous two spreads, I wanted to have something a bit more mellow and chilled. And now I'm going to add a bit of water, just like what I've done with my cobalt teal, just to help the separation here as well. The separation here will come not from my chartreuse, but from the other color, which is a moss green. I'm going to swatch out my chartreuse. And this beautiful moss green. Moss green looks interesting in both saturated and lighter color mixes. So I'm gonna also swatch out a lighter color. And then I think I'm gonna add a bit of sub green into this. Just a little bit into the mix, just to change the tone ever so slightly. If your watercolor mix is becoming too watery and you feel like you're not getting enough pigment, then you just need to mix it up again. So we had moss green, we had chartreuse, and actually let's see if we like this tone as well. It's slightly darker, so might give us a nice variety. And I'm also going to dab it in some of the leaves that are still wet. And now a bit more chartreuse. You can see how instantly chartreuse creates that zesty tone, and I really love it. You can use the color on its own, but equally it's great as a mixer as well, just adding a little bit of brightness to your colors. let's have a closer look. I feel like it's very light and very simple compared to the others. So we started quite a bit more denser and detailed, and I really love this illustration. And I also love the lightness of this one as well. So maybe I can just add a few elements that would create an extra bit of detail, but not too much. So I think I'm just going to add a few of these kind of wispier elements. I have to say, I do like these blackberries sprinkled around and filling the space without overfilling it. So for example, in this composition here, I felt like I started adding too many leaves in the end, and when there were less, I liked it better. So then here, I think it's just perfect for me personally, not too busy, but enough detail. And here I feel like we're just lacking a little bit of contrast of some sort. So I'm actually going to go ahead and sprinkle around a few of these berries here. So it's from the botanical set, and it's this element here. So I'm just going to go ahead, add a few, and show you the difference. So here it is. I think it added a nice little detail without making things too busy, bringing in some contrast, bringing in a bit more detail. And although it's such a small little element, it has been very useful in a lot of my illustrations. So I've been adding it here, I've been adding it here, here, here. So it's been good fun. Okay, that's the end of our spread with the cabanas. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what your favorite is. Mine are definitely these two. Love the color palettes of this one, but just became a little bit too busy. But this one is just perfect composition. This one is nice and light and also has some sort of perfect harmonious shape to it, and the colors are gorgeous as well. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you day 21 when we start something new.